everyone, and welcome to today's core stability session. We are going to start on the ground on our backs, and we'll get going with our hundreds to kick us off. So go ahead and rest your head, rest your back on the ground, feet flat to the floor, knees point towards the ceiling. Reach your hands outside your hips, palms face down, fingertips point in the same direction your toes are pointing. Curl up, chin to chest to hover those shoulder blades off the ground. Take a nice deep breath and pump those arms up and down, an inch above the hips, an inch below the hips. Every pump of the arms gives us instability through the upper abs.
Keep
breathing, arms lift a few inches up, a few inches down. Keep those arms straight, almost like you're slapping the surface of water. If you'd like an extra challenge here, you can lift your feet off the ground, chins parallel to the ceiling. Knees are still bent, stacked over those hips. Or you can extend those legs long to hover, or to the diagonal rather, to add some more instability through the lower abs. Just picking whichever one works for you today. And we'll round this out in 3, 2, 1, and go ahead and rest your head. We are going to take it to crunches, sit-ups, or roll-ups next. So feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. To start with crunches, hands can go behind head, elbows wide, and you crunch. To lift the shoulder blades to hover and then release. If you'd like to take sit-ups, you start head rested, hands to the ceiling, feet flat, knees to the ceiling, and roll on up. Shoulders come up all the way over the hips, and then you roll back down. And another option is those roll-ups. Legs just go out straight and long on the ground, and then same action as the sit-up. Start lying flat back and roll on up, shoulders stacked overhead. Taking nice deep breaths, using muscle over momentum here. And in 3, 2, 1, go ahead and rest your head down on the ground. Take your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling if they aren't there. And we're gonna take it to single leg circles. Push the palms down into the ground outside the hips. Pull your right knee to your chest, and then from there, extend your right leg straight to the ceiling. Point your right toe up to the ceiling. Head gets to stay rested, and we draw circles going across the body first. So we'll go left, down, right, and up through center. So this is counterclockwise to start. You choose how big the circle is that you're drawing with your leg. The bigger the circle, the less stability you'll have. The smaller the circle, the more stability you'll have. And as you go through making these circles, try to keep the upper body nice and still, working through hips, working through inner and outer thigh strength, working through lower abs. Reverse your direction, clockwise this time. We take it right, down, left, and then up through center. You can also play with the height of your leg. The higher your leg is, the more support you'll have. The lower your leg, the less support you'll have. Find your perfect combination. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bend your right knee to your chest, and then you can set that right foot flat back down to the ground. And we're gonna switch sides. Left knee pulls to your chest, and then left leg sends straight to the ceiling, point your toe. We go across the body first, so this time that's clockwise. We go right, down, left, and up through center. Hip mobility, inner and outer thighs burning, and low abs as we try to keep our low back glued to the ground and keep our entire torso still, just keeping the movement in that leg. Breathing here, hip mobility, and reverse directions. We go counterclockwise, left, down, right, and up through center. Nice job. Breathe through here. And in 3, 2, 1, bend your left knee in towards your chest, and then go ahead, set that left foot flat to the floor. And we're gonna take it to a single leg stretch. So curl up, chin to chest, shoulder blades hover off the ground. Keep them hovering. Hug your right knee to your chest, wrap your hands around that right shin, and then option to extend the left leg long to hover over the ground, point that left toe. And switch, hug left knee in, right leg hovers, and switch, and switch. So we build on our movements here. So with our shoulder blades lifted and hovering, we're getting this upper abs. And with this movement, extending the leg nice and long, we get a stretch maybe through the front of the hip, the top of the leg, and as we hug the knee to the chest, through the back of the leg, the glutes. This is the leg motion, very similar to the bicycles that we end with in our warm-up. So in 3, 2, 1, you can hug both knees to your chest and just rest your head down on the ground for a brief moment to give those upper abs a little bit of a break. And then we're gonna take it into our double leg stretch. So go ahead and curl up chin to chest, hug both knees into your chest, wrap your arms around them, lift those shoulder blades to hover. And we extend our arms and legs out beyond the torso, and then we hug everything back in. So your legs extend away from the torso to the diagonal as your arms circle out to the sides and behind the head, and then you hug everything back in. Trying to keep those shoulder blades hovering the entire time. Upper abs working really hard to keep those shoulder blades lifted. Lower abs working really hard to keep the low back glued to the ground as the legs extend away from the torso. 3, 2, 1, rest your head, nice job. We're gonna kick it up a notch. Go ahead and bring your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. We're gonna take it to single straight leg stretch. So go ahead and send your right leg straight to the ceiling, point your right toes. Take your hands as high on your right leg as you can with those shoulder blades hovering. Extend your left leg long to hover as an option. You can always leave the foot planted. Then you switch. Left leg goes to the ceiling, or right leg hovers or plants. Switch and switch. Always reaching as high as you can towards the foot or ankle on the leg that's reaching to the ceiling. Keeping those shoulder blades hovering, upper abs really fighting here. Obliques working with the altering of each leg, and low abs working as the legs lower and then lift. Keep your back glued to the ground. 3, 2, 1, hug both knees into your chest, rest your head, nice job. We get to rest our upper abs for this next one. Push your hands down into the ground outside the hips and send both legs to the ceiling. Squeeze your legs together and point those toes. You're gonna glue your lower back to the ground, pulling your belly button down towards your spine. You lower your legs away from the torso for 3, and then you lift them up to the ceiling for 1. Lower, 2, 3, lift for 1. So a slow lower and a quick lift. Squeezing those inner thighs together, get that extra burn there. Be intentional. And in 3, 2, 1, bring those knees into your chest, set your feet flat to the floor. Nice job. We take it to our crisscross or bicycle crunches. So feet are flat to the floor, knees are to the ceiling. Go ahead and curl up chin to chest. Hands go behind your head, elbows wide, shoulder blades hover. Bring your left knee to your chest as you crunch towards your left knee. Reset, right knee to chest, crunch towards your right knee. Option to add that bicycle movement, that leg extension. So left knee comes in, extends long to hover as right knee comes in. Crunching towards the knee that's coming towards your chest. And that twist to try to get your chest towards your knee is very minimal here. You want to keep it small enough to try to keep those shoulder blades lifted. If your shoulder blade starts to dig into the ground, make the movement smaller. In 3, 2, 1, rest your head, rest your feet. Nice job, everybody. Go ahead and get a drink if you need and work your way up to standing for our balance section. I'm gonna get a drink here. And we start with our hip circle. So stand nice and tall. Feet can be about shoulder width apart. The wider your feet are, the more stable balance you'll have, or wider base of support. So go ahead and push your hips to the right, push your hips forward, push your hips to the left, and then push them behind you. Just getting some mobility through the hips. Getting some movement in here. We're doing counter-clockwise hip circles. And as you're shifting your hips forward, back, front, sides, you are shifting your weight from one foot to the other to try to stay and maintain balanced. All right, from here, you'll pause your hip circles. Right foot is gonna step out wide to the right to a lateral or a side lunge. So feet are wide, toes still point forward. From here, keep the left leg straight, right knee bends as the hips push back in sync, and then stand nice and tall, back to the starting position. You have the option to reset and bring your feet together and then step wide into your lunge, or you have the option to keep the feet wide and bend and extend that right knee. That is up to you. So doing that side lunge, staying on the right side. Right foot is wide, hips sink back with a bend in the knee. Those hips sink back, and that's gonna help keep the knee tracked over the ankle. Still keep your collarbone proud and wide, your nose forward. My hands are on my hips for balance. You can do whatever's gonna work for you. Nice job. Shifting weight from one side, coming back through center. Firing up those lower body muscles, which help us balance and maintain through our day to day. When you're ready, come back up to standing nice and tall. Feet can come hip width apart, toes forward. My hands are gonna remain on my hips for this, but again, have your hands wherever it's gonna help you balance. You can even hold on to something if you need. And we're gonna do side toe taps. So balance through the left leg, and then right toes are gonna tap right, and then come right back underneath the hip. Right toes tap right, come back underneath the hip. Now, when you're doing this, you get to choose how far wide your toes tap. It could be a centimeter. It could be as far as you can possibly reach with that leg extended, you choose. As we're balancing through the left leg, take a soft bend in that left knee to activate those stabilizer muscles through the lower left leg, or through the left leg, lower body. Increasing muscle, taking the work out of the joint. Now you have the option to continue your side toe taps or take it to a hip abduction or a lateral leg lift. So right toes are reaching to the right, and then keep your leg straight. Lift the leg up an inch off the ground to the right, and then set it right back down. So keeping the leg out to the right, you lift and lower. The lift only has to be an inch or so. It could be less than an inch. You're gonna feel a pinch through the outer right glutes or through the outer right hip. And just repeating at your pace. The lift is small and intentional here. Also forcing us to bounce through the left leg with inconsistency with that right leg moving, trying to get us off balance. Core is huge here, pull your belly button in. In 3, 2, 1, bring both feet hip width apart, toes forward, and forward fold. You can inhale, arms reach out to the sides and up over the head. Exhale, hands reach down to the ground. Nice and long, let the head hang heavy. And if you'd like, you can take that right hand and reach it towards the outside of the left ankle. And left hand can reach towards the ceiling, twisting your chest, your nose to point left. Getting a twist with our fold. Just changing how the stretch hits a little bit. Encouraging it to go to the outsides of the legs as well as the back of the legs. When you're ready, slowly roll on up, one vertebrae at a time, and we're going to take it to the top with hip circles. This time we switch the direction. So the hip circles are going to we're going to push our hips to the left, and then forward, and then right, and then back. So now we're going clockwise with our hip circles. Again, you can widen your stance if you want a wider base of support. Just gives us a little bit more stability. And if you want to challenge yourself here, you can make the feet a little bit more narrow. Breathing as the weight shifts from foot to foot, front to back, side to side. And loosening up through the hip joints. And we'll take it to our lateral lunges next, so stand nice and tall. The left foot steps wide to the left, feet are wider than shoulder width apart. Bend the left knee, keep the right leg straight. As you sink the hips back, and then stand up tall. You have the option to keep the feet planted, bend the left leg, push the hips back, or you have the option to completely reset, step your feet together, and then step that left foot back out. You choose which challenge you would like today. So shifting our weight to the left side this time. Getting activation through our stabilizer muscles. Working on balance side to side. So get nice and low with those hips. Keep that left knee tracked over those left ankles when you're in that bend. Keep the chest proud, nose forward. Nice wide collarbone. Pull the shoulders back. Don't let them droop down. In 3, 2, 1. Stand up nice and tall. Take your feet hip width apart, toes forward. We take it to our side toe taps. The left toes tap left. Reset back underneath the hip. And repeat. You have the option here to choose how far you tap your toe out. Is it a centimeter? Is it as long as you can reach your leg? You choose. Find what's going to challenge you as we stabilize through the right side of our body. Soft bend in that right knee. It's going to activate the quads, the glutes on the right side to help us stabilize. Pull your belly button into your spine. And in 3, 2, 1. We're going to take it to that hip abduction or lateral leg lift. So keep your toes out to the side, to the left, and you're going to lift your toes an inch or so off the ground and then tap them back down to the ground, keeping the leg wide the entire time. Feeling a pinch through the outer left glutes or hip. Activating those muscles. Breathing, relaxing the shoulders down, trying not to tense through the upper body while stabilizing through the core. And in 3, 2, 1, go ahead and stand nice and tall. We take it to our forward fold. Stand tall, arms by your sides. Inhale, reach your hands out to the sides and up over the head. And exhale, hinge forward, reach your hands towards your toes. Take a nice couple deep breaths in here. And when you exhale, try to release tension, relax your shoulders down, let everything hang heavy. And you have the option to take the left hand towards the outside of the right ankle and raise the right hand to the ceiling, turning the chest and the nose to the right. Getting a little bit more of a stretch here through the sides of the legs. And when you're ready, you can unwind from there, and we are going to take it down to the ground for some more focused, targeted core work. I'm going to get a quick drink. Meet me on your back on the ground. All right. From here, head is rested, back is flat, feet can start flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling, and then take your hands and push them down into the ground outside the hips. Send your legs straight to the ceiling. Try to get your legs as straight as you can. Squeeze your legs together to make one nice long leg. You can have pointed toes here. And we're going to draw circles, switching at the top. So draw a clockwise circle, and then at the top, switch directions, counterclockwise. And as you go through this, we try to keep the back glued to the ground. This is working low abs, inner thighs. And you're also getting oblique side abs because the circle takes your legs off center. So our obliques have to compensate to keep our torso still and grounded. So working through here, your pace. Again, you can choose how big the circle is. You choose how high or low it dips. Keep that back glued to the ground. That's the first priority. Second priority is adding those bigger movements. In 3, 2, 1. If you need to bend your knees to your chest for a momentary rest, you may. And then when you're ready, send those legs straight back up to the ceiling, toes pointed. We're gonna let the legs fall out left and right. So left leg falls left, right leg falls right with those toes pointed. And then when you're as far as feels good to you, flex your feet and then bring those feet together back up through center. Toes point, fall out to the sides, feet flex, come back up through center. Breathing here. Feeling that stretch through the inner thighs on the way out, and then feel that contraction through the inner thighs on the way in. You got this. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bring your knees to your chest. Let your feet come back flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. And you're gonna keep your upper body rested here. As you lift your feet off the ground, shins parallel to the ceiling, knees stacked right over the hips. So nice 90-degree bend in those knees. Push your low back down to the ground. We're gonna take turns extending the legs. So right leg is gonna extend to hover, come back to that position. Left leg extends to hover, comes back to that position. So this is like an upside down tabletop position for the legs. As leg hovers, returns, then the other leg hovers and returns. Low abs and obliques working here. The low abs are working if the low back is glued to the ground, first priority. If the low back wants to come off the ground, make the movement smaller. And you also have the option to keep the knees bent and just do toe taps on the ground. Same muscles, same movement, same targets. Just a little bit different of a range of motion. Still gonna get you where you need to be. And in 3, 2, 1, go ahead and bring those feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Head remains rested here, and we are gonna take it to some leg movements here. So feet are gonna stay flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Pull your right knee to your chest, and then from there, extend your right leg straight to the ceiling. And then I want you to lower your right leg to hover on the ground, keeping it straight, and then set it back down, and then we switch sides. Left knee to chest, left leg to the ceiling, left leg hovers off the ground, reset. So knee, toes up, lower to hover, switch sides. Low back stays glued to the ground this entire time. A nice stretch through the back of the leg when you send this leg straight to the ceiling. Nice contraction through the top of the leg as we lower it. You got this. Knee to chest, toe to ceiling, hover it off the ground. Breathe through here. Taking your time. Upper body stays rested. And then 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest those feet flat to the floor, knees stay to the ceiling. We are gonna take it to our glute or hip bridge, shoulder bridge, whatever you'd like to call it. So feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Head stays rested. Take your hands, push the palms down into the ground outside the hips, and go ahead and curl or squeeze through the glutes to lift the hips to the ceiling. So the shoulders and the head stay on the ground, the forearms, the palms stay on the ground, and the feet stay on the ground. Hips lift, hips lower. Squeeze through the glutes to lift the hips up, and let the hips come back down to the ground nice, slowly, and controlled. As you do this movement, think about articulating through the spine one vertebrae at a time. So tailbone is the first to lift, then the vertebrae all the way up until the shoulder blades come up, and then they lower back down one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone's the last to hit the ground. If you'd like some more spice through the back of the legs, you can walk your feet further away from your bottom as an option. Squeezing the glutes to lift and lowering back down. You got this. Breathing through. And in 3, 2, 1. Rest those hips back down. Feet flat on the floor. And we are going to do alternating leg lifts. We're going to start with our feet flat on the floor here, knees to the ceiling. Keep your head rested. Right leg raises to the ceiling. Left leg raises to the ceiling. Right foot, it comes flat to the floor. Left foot comes flat to the floor. And you can repeat. I'm going to alternate sides every time. So left foot up, left foot down, right foot down, then switch. Right foot up, right foot down, left foot down. So you go to legs as straight as you can get them, up to the ceiling, and then foot back down to the floor. Keeping your low back glued to the ground. You got it. Moving at your pace. Low abs, obliques. And in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. Nice job. We're going to take it to our bird dog position. So go ahead and roll on over. Your hands are going to go underneath your shoulders and your knees are going to go underneath your hips. So you're in your tabletop position. So try to get your back nice and flat, head in line with your spine here. And we're going to start one limb at a time. Right arm reaches forward, set it back underneath the shoulder. Left arm reaches forward, set it back underneath the shoulder. Left leg extends behind the left hip, nice and straight. Then return the left knee right underneath the hip. Right leg extends back nice and straight. Return the knee underneath the hip. Keep this going at your own pace. Arm, arm, leg, leg. Keeping the back flat the entire time, keeping the head in line with the spine. Keep the belly button pulled into the spine to help keep that flat back. As we extend our legs behind us, the back will want to cave. Keep the belly button pulled in nice and sharp to prevent the caving of the lower back and keep the work through the lower body. Nice job. And round out wherever you're at. And then I want you to take opposite arm, opposite leg, and hold them extended. So right arm forward, left leg back. Hold here. Keep your back flat. If you need to plant your hand down and hold the left leg back, that works for me if it works for you. Hold the head in line with the spine. Breathe here. Lots of balance working. Can you lift that left leg up towards hip height? Catch yourself sinking a little bit. And go ahead and bring everything back down to your table. Hands and knees. Switch sides. Left arm forward, right leg back, or just right leg back. Hold. Balancing here. Breathe. Head in line with the spine. Belly button is pulled in. Check on your back leg. Did it sink a little? Can you bring it back up to hip height? In 3, 2, 1. Bring it on back down. We're going to take it to a brief fire hydrant here. So on hands and knees, still in your tabletop position. Keep the bend in your right knee. And then point your right knee to the right. And then bring it right back underneath your right hip. When you do this fire hydrant move, you're activating through the side glutes, outside the hip. When you're doing this movement, I want your back to stay completely flat. If your back starts to do a twisting motion or a caving motion, that means the movement's going into the low back and out of the outer glutes, and we are targeting outer glutes here. The knee does not have to lift as high as the hip or even higher. It can lift just a few inches, and that's perfect. As long as you feel that squeeze through the outside of the right glutes, you are doing it correctly. Everyone's range of motion will be different. Find yours. Keep the head in line with the spine. Back flat. In 3, 2, 1. Rest it on down. We switch sides. Left knee reaches left and then comes right back underneath the hip. Again, find your range of motion. Maybe it's just an inch. Maybe it does come up towards hip height. that is something you play around with. Keep your back flat, head in line with your spine. Belly button pulled in. Again, if that back wants to move, the movement is going to get pulled out of the glutes and put into the back. And we are targeting the glutes here, so try to keep it nice and tight as you can. Beautifully done. And 3, 2, 1. Rest it on down. Let's lay on the front side of our bodies. So lay in a nice long line, belly button down. Reach your hands back by your hips. Chest is on the ground, nose points down. Now squeeze your legs together behind you, as close together as you can get. And from here, push your hips down and pull your belly button up. It's going to give us some engagement to set us up for success as we lift the upper and lower body up off the ground an inch or so. So hands lift with the chest, hands come up to hip height, legs are lifting an inch or so, and you can breathe here. If you'd like to add movement through the upper body, you can sweep the arms out to the side and up overhead, reaching forward, and then reach them to sweep back by the hips. Reach out and up, out and back to the hips. Trying to stay lifted through the upper and lower body with this movement if you add it. Adding engagement through the back side of the body. And 3, 2, 1. Let everything float back down to the ground. Nice job. Go ahead and take your elbows and put them underneath your shoulders to prop your chest up. Take your left hand in a fist and wrap your right hand around that fist just to keep your hands together here. Elbows still underneath shoulders, chest still lifted. Squeeze the legs together behind you if they came unwound, and point your toes. From here, we take it to our single leg kick. Right heel kicks back to the glutes. One big kick followed by a tiny kick at the top. Set it down, left side, big kick, little kick. Switch and switch. This is getting the back side of the body still. As we kick back, we are contracting through the hamstrings and the glutes. Big kick, little kick, big kick, little kick. You can do it. You're taking it at your pace. Big kick, little kick, big kick, little kick. Feeling that sharp contraction through the back side of the body, and with that sharp contraction will come a stretch through the front side. So the thighs will have to stretch to allow those hamstrings to contract. In 3, 2, 1, go ahead and rest your upper body. So maybe you fold your forearms on top of one another, rest your head on your forearms, and we take it to our windshield wipers. So go ahead and bend your heels towards your glutes or towards your bottom. Let your feet, your shins fall left, bring them back through center, let them fall right, just bring them back through center. Just loosening up through the hip joint and loosening up through the low back as well. Windshield wiper, up and over, up and over. Nice deep breaths here. And when you're ready, go ahead and extend the legs out long. Push yourself back up to all fours. And we're going to take it to our side kicks. So for our side kicks, you're going to lay on the left side of your body first. So left hip down, right hip to the ceiling. We're focused on glutes here. For your left arm, you have options to support yourself. You can use your left arm as a pillow. You can rest your head in the palm of your left hand, or your left elbow can come directly beneath your right shoulder. Forearm flat, palm down. Extend your legs nice and long so you're in a straight line. And from here, take your right hand, push your palm down into the ground in front of the torso, the chest, the ribs to help support. Then take your legs and just lift them so that your feet come a couple inches forward so you're no longer in a straight line, but in a nice wide angle. Keep your right hip stacked directly over the left hip, right leg stacked directly over the left leg. Flex your feet. Lift your right foot up to hip height so it's hovering over the left foot. Foot stays flexed. Kick your right foot forward 2 times, so a big kick followed by a little kick, and then point your toes to do the same thing backward. Kick behind you, 1 and 2. So flex your foot to kick forward 2 times, point your toe to kick backward 2 times. Now as we're doing this, your leg is staying at hip height the entire time as if you're sliding it across a table. It does not change heights, it's just sliding forward and sliding backward. Getting the center of the glutes here where the back of the thigh or the hamstring meets the glutes. Kicking forward and backward. So another big kick followed by a little kick when you get to your highest point. Now when you're doing this movement, again, the more our torso moves, the less work is gonna, or the more the torso moves, the more work is gonna go into the torso. So you want the movement to stay in the glutes, that's what we're targeting here. So try to keep the torso as still as you can, keep the work in those glutes. And in 3, 2, 1, stack the right foot right back over the left. We're gonna change it to up downs. So flexed foot, lift the right leg up towards the ceiling and then lower it back down to hover at hip height. Outer glutes, side, outside of the hip, and you'll feel it right away. The lift of the leg does not have to be huge, just enough so that you feel that pinch through the right side of the body, okay? Can be anywhere from 2 to 8, 9 inches. As you lower the leg, try to lower it back down to hip height. If you need to rest it, you can. Try to keep it lifted at hip height and then lift higher, lower back down to hip height. This is burning in all the best ways. 3, 2, 1. Take a rest if you need. We're gonna come into our circles, rounding out the work through the glutes. So right leg is gonna draw circles, keeping the right leg straight. Brush the right ankle to meet the left as you come through center. That's gonna keep the leg circling over the left leg. Keep targeting through those glutes. Changing the movement a little bit, changing how we work through the glutes. Drawing those circles. The circles don't have to be huge again. They can be less than a foot in diameter. And reverse your circle, reverse directions. Brush those ankles together as you come through center. So the left leg stays still, the right ankle can brush past the left to help keep that right leg centered over the bottom. Good tactile reminder for us all. Feeling this in a big way. In 3, 2, 1. Rest that right leg. Nice job. We worked through the right side of the glutes. This drink as we transition to working on the left side. So our right hip is going to go down, left hip is going to go up. I just got a nice drink of water myself. And we'll set ourselves up from here. So right hip down, left hip up, laying on your side. Right arm can be used as a pillow. You can rest the head in the palm of your right hand, or you can have right elbow underneath right shoulder. However is going to support you best. Left hand pushes down into the ground in front of the torso to help give us another point of contact on the ground. And from a straight line, just take the feet and move them a couple inches forward so that they are no longer in line with the hips, just a little bit ahead of them. Left hip stays stacked on top of the right hip. Flex your feet. Lift your right leg up to hip height with your flexed foot. We take it forward and back. Kick your leg forward 2 times. Point your toes to kick backward twice. So the first kick is big, the second kick is small. When you get to your furthest point, you try to push it 1 degree further. Breathe in, moving at your pace here. Keeping your leg at hip height. Again, trying to keep the torso as still as you can. That might mean you limit your range of motion. If your torso starts to move too much, maybe make the kick range smaller. Don't kick as far forward or as far back. And that movement, reducing the movement, actually increases the impact here, because that's going to help you keep the target in the glutes. Whereas if your torso is moving around and grooving around, more of the work is coming out of the glutes. So making the movement smaller is sometimes a better way to target those muscles, make the movement more impactful. You got this. Keep working through. Breathe. This is the center of the glutes where the glutes meet the hamstring, the back of the thigh. And in 3, 2, 1, stack the left foot right back over the right. Flex the feet. If you need to take a moment to pause, you can. We're going to take it to up downs. Left leg lifts, left leg lowers back down to hip height. So the lift here, again, can be anywhere from 2 inches to 9 inches. You don't have to send the leg all the way to the ceiling. You're going to feel that pinch through the outer left glutes. The smaller the movement, the more reps you can get in, and the more targeted and isolated that movement can get. So sometimes bigger isn't better, especially when we're in core stability. Breathing through. Feeling that pinch through the outer glute side. Woo! Breathe through it. It's a tough one. You can. It becomes mental here. Woo! 3, 2, 1. If you need to rest that top leg, that left leg down for a moment, you can. We're going to take it into our circle. So feet stay flexed and draw a circle. Brush your left ankle over your right as you make that circle to keep the circle centered and keep targeting those muscles that we are trying to target in the glutes. If you're collapsing through your shoulders here, take a deep breath, relax them. I say that because I was doing that. Again, the circles don't have to be huge. In 3, 2, 1, switch directions. You can do it. All right, push through. This is our final push for glute work. In 3, 2, 1. Woo, nice job. Get a drink if you need, and we take it to our final core circuit before we cool down. We will meet on our backs. So final core circuit. We are gonna burn through the thighs a little bit here. So go ahead and start with your feet flat to the floor and gaze to the ceiling. Push the hands down into the ground outside the hips. Head is gonna stay rested for the first 2 exercises. So send your legs straight to the ceiling. Get your legs as straight as you can. You can point your toes. Keep your low back glued to the ground. Lower your legs away from your body. And then freeze when you are still able to maintain the back glued to the ground, but it's challenging, okay? That's your point that you wanna take. Then we're gonna take it to lateral scissor switches. Cross your right leg over your left, bring the legs a little bit wider than the hips, then cross the left leg over the right, legs wider than the hips, and keep going. Keep that low back glued to the ground. This is a low ab exercise, also targeting inner thighs. Breathe. And we're gonna switch it to alternating leg lifts in 3, 2, 1. Feet can come flat to the floor. Right leg to the ceiling, left leg to the ceiling, right foot flat to the floor, left leg flat to the floor. You're gonna switch and alternate which leg leads to the ceiling. If you'd like, we did this one already. Leg up, up, down, down. With those feet flat and knees bent, it's just offering a little bit more support through the low abs. But with us working one side at a time, we're activating through the obliques. You got it. Now send your legs straight up to the ceiling, both of them up. Reach your hands towards your toes and curl. Upper abs are the target. Shoulder blades lift and lower. Lift and lower. Hovering, reaching those hands towards the toes. Option to have hands behind head, elbows wide to support through the neck if you need. In 3, 2, 1, rest the head. We take it back to our lateral scissor switches. So legs are at a nice diagonal. Legs can go wider than the hips. One leg crosses over the other, and switch, and switch. Keep the low back glued to the ground. Last round through here. And in 3, 2, 1, alternating leg lifts, feet flat to the floor. Right leg up, right leg down, left leg down. Left leg up, right leg up, left leg down, right leg down. Feet can go flat to the floor at the bottom. Legs go straight to the ceiling at the top. Obliques, low abs. And in 3, 2, 1, legs to the ceiling. Reach your hands towards your toes. Crunch, release, crunch, release. You got it. Lift those shoulder blades to hover. Upper abs working here. We're gonna burn it out. This is the last exercise before we cool down. Crunch, crunch. How big can your crunch get? How small is the release? Breathe here. In 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, rest your head. Beautifully done, everybody. Get a drink if you need. We're gonna cool down. I'll change our vibe here to restorative. And we cool down. Feel free to follow along with me as we cool down, or do what serves you best and your body best. I'm gonna start in our tabletop position. Hands can go underneath shoulders, knees can go underneath hips. The bottoms of your feet can face towards the ceiling, so the tops of your feet are nice and rested on the ground. Start with a flat back, head in line with your spine, and a nice big inhale. On your exhale, we take it to cat. Push through the palms, tuck your chin to your chest, spine to the sky. And then we go to cow when we need to inhale. So inhale, dip the belly low, roll the shoulders down and back, point the nose forward. Go through these at your own pace. Adding wiggles or shifting your weight where it feels good. Spine mobility. And maybe a stretch through the front of the abs as well as we dip our bellies low. Embracing the movement here as you move with your breath. And when you're ready, you can come on back to a flat back, head in line with your spine, curl your toes under, and send your hips to the sky. So now your toes and your hands are on the ground, hips are up, arms and legs are straight, upside down V-shaped pike position. To get a deeper stretch through the backs of the legs, you push those heels down towards the ground. To get a deeper stretch through the spine, you pull that chest towards those knees. When you're ready, you can lower those knees back down to the ground before you transition to your back. Go ahead and lay on your back. Head rested, feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. And from here, go ahead, hug your right knee into your chest. You can either leave your left foot planted, or you can extend it nice and long on the ground. Find what feels best for you. Left leg extended is stretched through the front of the hip. Left foot planted is support through the lower back. On your next exhale, go ahead and take your right knee a little bit wider outside the rib cage to open up through the inner thigh, outer hip. Breathing. And we can take it to our twist. Left hand to the outside of the right knee, guides the right knee up and over to the left side of the body, peeling the right hip off the ground. Reach the right arm long to a T outside the right shoulder, nose points right. We get a glute stretch, spine twist, shoulder and chest opener. Nice twist through the spine here. And release. Bring both knees into your chest. We take it from the top, switching sides. So go ahead and hug that left knee to your chest. Right foot can either go flat or right leg can go long. Breathe here. Open the left knee wide outside the rib cage to open up through the inner thigh, outer hip. And when you're ready, we can take this to a twist. Right hand to the outside of the left knee, guide the left knee up and over towards the right side of the body, left hip peels off the ground. Left arm goes long to a T shape, nose points left. Feel a stretch through the glutes, a twist through the spine, and opening through the chest and shoulders. Go ahead and unwind. Bring both knees to your chest and give yourself a little hug as you rock and roll on up to a seated position. Sit nice and tall. Sit nice and tall. Extend those legs straight in front of you. Arms by your sides. Inhale, reach your arms out to the sides and up over your head. And exhale, hinge forward, reach your fingertips towards your toes. Nose points to your knees. Relax through your shoulder blades to allow the stretch to come up through the spine, folding yourself in half and stretch for the entire backside of the body. Seated forward fold. And when you're ready, you can unwind from that and take it to your butterfly. Butterfly, the bottoms of your feet come together to touch in front of your hips. Knees have to point out to each side to allow this to happen. So left knee points relatively left, right knee points relatively right. If they're a little bit more lifted to the ceiling, that's okay. Find your perfect stretch by pulling your heels closer or further from you, hinging forward or sitting up nice and tall, and really trying to encourage those knees to point out to the sides. Breathing here, releasing with every exhale, getting deeper into your stretch. Go ahead and take it to a wide V stretch. So extend both legs long and separate them so that they're wider than the hips. You choose how wide is wide. Take your hands, walk them forward, palms face down, fingertips reach forward as you stretch through the inner thighs, backs of the legs, maybe through the spine as well. Relaxing the shoulders, down and back as you reach energetically forward with the fingertips. And you can walk your hands right on back. And then we'll come into our child's pose rest position. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Go ahead and walk your knees a little bit wider than the hips and bring your big toes together to touch behind you. Sink your bottom towards your heels and then walk your hands forward, bringing your chest and forehead towards the ground. Breathe here. From here, you'll feel a stretch through the inner thighs, maybe an opening through the hips. With your tailbone pulled back and fingertips reaching forward, you elongate through the spine, relaxing through the shoulders. Maybe you feel a stretch through the backs of the upper arm, the triceps as well. Really energetically pulling back with the tailbone as you reach forward with the fingertips. Taking a couple breaths here. Thank you for joining our core stability today. I'm going to stop our recording